Hey, God, I'm sorry. I can't see myself till I just start, and then I think, oh God, that's not right. Hi, how are you? Here we are. Seems dark in here, doesn't it? Oh well. Um, Hi, I'm Lynn Cullen, just in case. Um, I'm in my usual Monday state, which is where the hell does one start? A state of discombobulation. Ay, 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 guys. So let's let's sort of tiptoe in, start a little slow, ease up a bit, might help. Sometimes I realize that, yeah, it's getting harder for me again. I had that respite where I was off for a while, and then I was gung ho for the last 2 weeks, and now I'm starting to like get to the point where I simply can't read the stories. I used to make fun of people who felt they were up on things because they'd read the headline and they'd never read the story. And now it's what I'm doing half the time. I think, oh no, can't do it. Uh so I don't know. I could talk about the Super Bowl. I could talk about the ads. I could talk about Bad Bunny's halftime show. Uh, you know, what a state we're in when that performance, that show, when it was announced he would do the show, the halftime show, that all hell broke loose by those sons of bitches who have stolen the soul of this country and who are in power. I hate them. I'm sorry. They peddle hate, and I've succumbed. It's everywhere, and so you fall into it yourself. I mean, Bad Bunny had a thing up on, the Jumbotron or something that said the only thing stronger, I think it said, more powerful, it said, because I wrote it. The only thing more powerful than hate is love. And see, that's the kind of statement that the sons of bitches who have the power in this country, the political power in this country right now, can't sign on to. They revel in their hate. They spread it, and it infects us all. I hate them. I can't help it. I saw this. I'm just going to share it. I had no intention that I was going to start ranting right away. I'm sorry. But I'm not going to do it. Somebody posted this about what they've done, how they've redefined us in so many ways. This person wrote, anyone notice how civil rights, something we supported and were for, didn't seem like it was reasonable to do anything but? Anyone notice how under these sons of bitches, civil rights has become DEI? And that the very idea of civil rights is now framed as racism against white people. Fuck. Feminism It's hatred and oppression of man. Freedom of religion, they've redefined as something called religious liberty, where Christians get to discriminate against anyone they want to, get to say they own the country, that the country is theirs. Look what they've done to us just with our language, really. Immigrants, give me you're tired, you're poor. The Statue of Liberty, give me you're tired, you're poor. Your huddled masses yearning to breathe free. Not these sons of bitches. Send these, the tempest tossed, to me? Oh, no. They don't see people yearning to be free. Doesn't fit their definition if they're not the right color, the right religion, not coming with a whole bunch of money. So immigrants now are generally thought of as illegals. They're to be hunted down, rounded up. And that most American of things, being able to speak your mind, speak truth to power, say what you want, put up signs that say what you think, march in the streets. That most American of things and the people who do them have, under these sons of bitches, become domestic terrorists. Domestic terrorists. I vaguely remember a term called protester. It was an all-American kind of a thing to be. I protest. Bad Bunny was good. It was fascinating. And I don't speak Spanish, so I didn't understand a word he was singing. And I'm not a big fan of the butts, the twerking, the crotch grabbing, but my God, that's been going on now for the last 20 years, and I'm just old school. Everybody does it. That can't be what these fucks were freaking out about. Unbelievable. The thing I liked most was, I think, was it at the end or toward the end when all the flags, when he said, "God bless America." And then he defined America correctly. There's North America, there's South America, and the Americans comprise all of the countries, not just the United States, that calls itself America. But no, He started down at that tip of South America, and every country he named and their flag that flew up to Canada. I loved it. And the sons of bitches currently in power, the lead son of a bitch, uh, now thinks that this whole hemisphere, North and South America, are his. Hmm. And, when Green Day did its song before the game, um, I'm so you know what? I didn't understand a word they were singing either because I don't understand I mean, even back in the day before I was half deaf and I I could never understand lyrics. It was like, "What? What?" I mean, I was a classic for misunderstanding any lyrics of songs, and now so people who are upset that, he was speaking in Spanish. I can't understand a word he's saying. Well, I can't understand a word they're saying when they're singing in English. But then I saw later that the song they were singing is their biggie, and it's called American Idiot. I love it. So I looked up the lyrics. I loved it. I mean, it's perfect. It's about American idiots. And it was written long before the current crop showed up. I'm sorry, I'm looking at your chat. And, oh, somebody's saying the actual wedding in the show, that was an actual wedding. Those 2 people really did get married in the half and because they had I mean, I'm sure people do this kind of thing. They'd invited Bad Bunny, who they didn't know, just as a lark. "Hey, we're getting married. Wanna come to our wedding?" And damn, not only did he say, "Well, kinda, yeah, but how about if you get married at my halftime show?" I mean, there were a lot of wonder I it you know, I it's most of us, didn't get a lot of it, but after the fact, yeah, you start learning what a lot of things meant, who some people were, who you didn't necessarily know. There was a lot of, misinformation about the little boy who he gave his Grammy award to. People immediately were saying, "Oh my god, he gave his Grammy award to little Liam Ramos." The tortured child, the ice tortured child from Minnesota. That was not him. Just saying. And just speaking of that, a quick aside, I saw this, and you know what? Here's a thing where you read the headline and you can't bear to read the rest. Headline: US seeks to speed up deportation of 5-year-old. Liam Ramos. That's his name, Liam Ramos. So after he got finally back home after being traumatized, the federal government, it says here, has filed a motion to expedite the deportation of that little child because he must be a murderer or a rapist. He must be the worst of us. He'll slit your throats in your bed. He probably kidnapped Savannah Guthrie's mom. Not in my name. Feel for the Olympians too. It ain't easy having to wear American colors. It ain't easy now on an international stage having to represent probably right now the most hated nation on earth. I tip my hat to all of those athletes who are having to deal with this, those who have, when questioned or even when not, made statements. Robert is saying, remember when Lynn said on her radio era over 20 years ago, God help America? Well, that is, yeah. I mean, God has blessed us, certainly beyond our, well, not that we deserved it. But if we need to, yeah, we've always got, God help us. Yeah, I must say it 20 times a day. I don't know. I loved him falling through the roof of that house too. What was that? Was it just sort of was that making fun of the sense that he was being sort of crashing into America's living rooms? I don't know. Do you know he wore a bulletproof vest for that? Here's the thing I don't get about bulletproof vests. I mean, if a sniper's good, they're gonna, yeah, get you in the head. You can't wear a bulletproof head thing. Oh, I mean, I guess it gives you some coverage, but not all. Oh, guys. I thought it was really, yeah, it was better than the football game. And by the way, that game, God damn it, just the Super Bowl in general. You know who's there? I mean, 80% or more of the people there are the friggin' gazillionaires or wannabe gazillionaires because they're the only ones who can afford the damn thing. The rest of us get to watch. Actually, I'd prefer watching from my warm home. I get a better view, but I don't know. Oh, and then at the beginning, I'm sorry, I'm remembering stuff. You know, where the announcer says, you know, before the America the Beautiful and the Star Spangled Banner and the military guys and the jets flying over, they said the NFL salutes, you know, something about this 250th anniversary of the founding of this great nation. And then they said something about the unity and freedom. They threw all the, and I kept waiting for the crowd to, and I'm sure there were people in the crowd. I wanted the crowd to start booing because it's bullshit now. It's bullshit. Do they really think that a majority of Americans now feel like celebrating our freedom, the revolution that obviously needs to be reconstituted, not celebrated, needs to be, redone. Anyone who celebrates this 4th of July is out of their fucking minds. There is nothing to celebrate right now. Nothing. There's just hard work to do. Hey, I saw something this weekend that I'd never seen before. I looked up the weather just when I woke up to see how freezing it was. And it said that it was 2 below zero. Okay. And then it says, it does the feels like thing, the wind chill temperature. Feels like 3. And I thought, what? What do you mean? I thought the wind chill was always lower than the actual temperature. And I was a weekend weather girl back in the day. What? It was -2, but the feels like maybe because the sun or there was no wind. But how does that give you 5 degrees? I'm just saying. Oh, the ad. Somebody said, yeah, the game sucked, and so did the ads. I thought the ads did too. But again, I've aged out. I don't even. I didn't think they were funny. Weren't 2 of them Fred Rogers songs? I mean, I know one was the Lady Gaga singing. But there was another one with, I think, football players in it. All of a sudden, it's about being a neighbor. That was a Fred song, wasn't it? Or You Are Special, or whatever it was. I don't know, but it was such a Fred song. And I mean, the fact that both of those were there shows this hunger to get away from these sons of hateful bitches that have absconded with our country. Yeah, people are saying the Dunkin' Donuts commercial, whatever the fuck that was 7,000. I thought that was just awful. I had trouble following it because I wasn't a big, lover of TV watching. I mean, I thought it was stupid, awful. I mean, there are a lot of them that were stupid and awful. Oh, God. Oh, and there was one that was scary. And one that the Ring doorbell one. Oh, they said, doggies go missing. Little doggies go missing. And our Ring doorbell has helped to reunite them with their owners. So you become part of this wonderful dog reuniting program with us. And you get yourself a Ring doorbell and become part of a surveillance network, because your doorbell is going to share information with your neighbor's doorbell. And the guy behind you, who you don't even know, who you never see. What the fuck? I have friends. My sister has a ring. Stop it. Stop all this stuff. It's all spying on us. And we have a government now that will use that information against us. Mm, mm, mm. Apparently, if you do have a Ring doorbell, you can go to the, I don't know, you got a control thing or something, a control gizmo, another remote, and you can go to the settings and you can find the thing that says, what is it? I saw this that says, hang on, I'm getting it because I want you. Search party. There's a thing on your Ring doorbell that says search party. Turn it off. They ain't looking for dogs. They're looking for human beings. Oh, God. Did I get your note about the Chicago White Sox installing a bidet in their locker room? Yes, I did. The White Sox players are going to have the cleanest assholes in the whole baseball world. I did. Guys, I can't respond to every, just so you know, and I'm sorry. I feel bad. You send me a lot of stuff, and I try, it depends. And it's not, and I'm even moved by stuff and don't always respond. Oh, speaking of that, I did want to share this with you because, again, it reminds us of a better time when a Republican was in the White House and we didn't vote for him, but he was not a monster. This goes back to 1992. Jonathan sent me this. And I have remarked before that Donald Trump has to be the first president in a long, long time who doesn't have a pet. And of course he doesn't have a pet. You have to have a heart to have an animal in your home. But Jonathan sent me this presidential memo that came from the president's desk in February 6th of 1992. The president then was George Bush, the elder. I won't read it all to you. It's a little bit long. But it says memo. It went out to the entire, anybody who worked in the White House got this. Memo, important announcement. This is an all points bulletin from the president. Subject, my dog, Ranger. And the memo goes on. Well, he says, recently Ranger was put on a weight reduction program. All offices need to take a formal pledge that reads as follows. And he does all caps here. We agree not to feed Ranger. We will not give Ranger biscuits. We will not give him food of any kind. And the president went on. In addition, Ranger's access is hereby restricted. He has been told in no uncertain terms not to wander the corridors without an escort. This applies to the east and west wings. Well, one of those is gone now, so the dog would only have to be escorted through half. Also applies to the residents from the third floor to the very, 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 very bottom basement. Although Ranger will still be permitted to roam at Camp David. The Camp David staff, including the Marines, naval personnel, all civilians, are specifically instructed to rat on anyone seen feeding him. Ranger has been asked to wear a "Do Not Feed Me" badge in addition to his ID. I will, of course, report on Ranger's fight against obesity. Right now, he looks like a blimp, a nice, friendly, appealing blimp, but a blimp. We need your help. All hands, please help. From the president, signed George Bush. Oh, we didn't know. You never know you're living in gooder times when they're happening. We were all bitching and moaning and complaining back then. Stupid, privileged, entitled, wanting more. God, what we'd settle for now. A human in the White House. That would be a start. Okay. What happens to me on Monday is I never know when I'm going to, and I had thought, let's just start it easy and light, but that was, and Jonathan, thank you for that. But see, all that does is make me just, I just start. You know what young people say? Because old people know better. Young people, and even middle-aged people, say, well, it can't get any worse. Don't ever. If there's one thing my 8 decades on this earth have, yeah, they're 8. People get mixed up about that. I'm 78, but I've been here 8 decades. And in 2 years, I'll be on my 9th. Because there's that 0 to 10. Right? 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 to 40, 40 to 50, 50 to 60. If this were an IQ test, 60 to 70. 80 to 90. This isn't working, is it? Maybe I'm not. I've been here for a goddamn long time, and I know it can always get worse. Math is never my strong suit. I mean, it really wasn't. I was up until just a few weeks ago when a bunch of you corrected me. I can't believe you didn't correct me sooner. Was saying we were heading into our 300th birthday. I mean, that is just whatever. When you're smiling, oh, I wish I could sing. I was meant to be a singer and a dancer, and I got bum feet and no voice. We all have our, you get what you get. I ain't complaining. I've got some bad news about media, and I've got some good news about media. Oh, and I want to share this with you. I'm all over the place because I've made notes and I'm just seeing them here and yither and yon. So I saw this post, and it is so true, about the Epstein files. Okay. Someone posted, and I hadn't thought of this. Isn't it crazy that with the Epstein files, we've seen millions of pages with men's names all over them or redacted? And the only person in jail is a woman. Isn't that, I mean, I think about that. The only person who's behind bars in this sex trafficking, raping little girls thing is a woman. I haven't even got to the racist Trump post. You know, I was looking here at all this stuff. I haven't gotten to, oh my God, there's no end to it. And I know I've done this before, but I have to do it again because it just shows, guys, don't even watch the nightly network news. I rarely watch local news, but I swear to God, I think local news is better now than network news. Network news has gone the way of bad local news. It's just almost uniformly awful. Awful. So I'm always watching NBC. I won't watch CBS. And NBC because I watch Jeopardy, and that's why it's always on there. And I've told you that since poor Mrs. Guthrie's gone missing, they've led with that story night after night for 10 minutes while the world is burning. While the world is in a more precarious position and our democracy is in a more precarious position than ever in our lifetimes. And Savannah Guthrie's mom is number one. I keep thinking of what all the other families who've endured this kind of nightmare are thinking. Oh, I see. I wonder if the FBI worked this hard when my mom went missing. I wonder if it's just unbelievable. So anyway, it was Thursday night. I was wasting my time doing a jigsaw puzzle. It's not quite wasting my time, I tell myself. I have to use my brain. Shapes, colors. But I went berserk. Of course, it started with Guthrie's mother again. Day 5 or 6, or I don't know what the hell it was. Unbelievable. Then it went into 5, 6, 7 minutes of effing Donald effing Trump. It was excerpts from the interview that I guess he did that was played before the Super Bowl. Didn't see it. And it was 5 or 6 minutes of him just lying, right? Okay. So first we have Savannah Guthrie's mother, then we have the monster in chief out there lying through his teeth with the guy interviewing me every once in a while saying, what, but. And then the next story was a car driven by an old lady in Los Angeles who'd lost control, crashed into a grocery store. And yeah, 3 people were killed, 3 or 4. Some people were injured. But the video! Oh, there were ambulances. They even interviewed the firefighter who said, well, we did what firefighters do. We pulled that car off a body and blah, blah, blah. And I'm thinking the world is fucking burning, you assholes. Our democracy. 5-year-olds are being fucking ripped from their parents' arms and sent into warehouses. What? Okay. Then the next thing was the Olympics, which was because they're covering it. So it was an ad for the Olympics, and it was all about Lindsey Vonn and how she was going to do this amazing thing. Never mind, whatever. By the way, the woman who got the gold medal was also an American. I never heard her name because our media just gets fixated on certain stories and narratives and then whatever. Okay. So we got Guthrie's mom, Trump's lies, car into grocery store in Los Angeles, which is a local story, Olympics, which was an advertisement. The next story was video of some guys in an elevator, I think in New Delhi. One of them's carrying balloons, and the balloons exploded. Who gives a shit? I'm not kidding. Nobody was even killed. But the video, you get in an elevator, and if somebody's carrying balloons and they... The next thing, I swear to God, was another story about a car crashing into a fucking building, this time in Detroit, and it was the airport there. And no one was killed. And on top of it, the guy says this happened in January, but something about the trial. I don't know. It made... They should be so ashamed of themselves. I don't know how these anchors can do this and look in the mirror. It's beyond me. Yeah, and then there was a story, it was body camera footage of a firefighter because, well, here is what looks like when you go into a fire. These are all local stories that even shouldn't have led local news. Well, the LA one, yes, maybe. And then they ended on, again, some Olympic thing that was able to bring in a celebrity thing. We are fucked. If there's ever been a time when we need really good news coverage. You will not find it on your television, okay? You can find some on your radio here and there. But you're going to have to seek it out. And you're going to have to pay for it. I've lost count, but I pay for 5 or 6 maybe more sources. Local, 3 or 4. And I'm not even counting like my New York Times subscription or my soon to be Washington Post subscription. Speaking of Washington Post, I was blown away to see we should have a moment of silence here. He really killed it. He fucking killed it. That son of a bitch. And how one of the richest people in the world can say he killed a great newspaper for financial, because it was losing money that, okay, don't get me. I just wanted to make sure I get this right. A number of staffers at staffers, I'll get it, at the Washington Post have started a GoFundMe because some of the reporters that Bezos fired on a Zoom call are in war zones overseas. Some are in war zones here. War zones overseas. They're in, Ukraine. They're in God knows where. And some of them, because they might be bureau chiefs, are actually living there, have brought their families. And he fired these people and apparently did not give them any aid, financial or logistical, in their being able to extract themselves from whatever situations they are in and return to the United States. And their own colleagues, many of them fired as well, have started a GoFundMe. I just want to say, again, well, you know how I say that those of you who use Amazon, I know it's hard to break a habit where so much is available to you for less and so quickly. But if we're not willing to give something like that up to fight these sons of bitches, then we ain't gonna win. Whose side are you on? You still shopping at Whole Foods? Shame on you. I mean it. There is nothing there that should be more important than this to Jeff Bezos. Nothing. The Amazon stuff, it's so ubiquitous that I'm not saying go cold turkey, but tell yourself, this I don't need, Or I'll see who makes this. I will go to that website and get it directly from them. I will not use him. Give that bastard a penny. I promised you some good news on the media front. Somebody put this up. There's a little local newspaper still alive here in Western Pennsylvania called the Butler Eagle. Now, Butler stands for Butler County, which is near Pittsburgh and is red. It'd be a red county. It'd be a Trump voting kind of a county. Their paper, let me find it, let me get the date, Wednesday, February 4. Their opinion and letters to the editor page is uniformly negative and outraged about the sons of bitches. This is the Butler Eagle. I'll just give you the headlines. No. Excuse me. ICE deployment's unacceptable. And these people put their names on here. So these are people in a really, really red place who are out there in the paper saying, and I got to bet they're not all Democrats, the few Democrats that live there. I mean, people saying citizens have been killed exercising their First Amendment rights. Here's another one. Sheriff shouldn't be working with ICE. President Trump, here's another one, is unfit for office. That's a guy from Harmony. How far gone does Trump have to go before Congress removes him from power? And then the whole other hunk. Letters. President Trump's policies are disastrous. And this is like somebody just saying he's just destroying the country. Here's another one. Foreign aid is moral and a practical necessity. These are just the headlines of these marvelous letters. There's not one dissenting voice that the editors of the Butler Eagle have an entire, it must have blown people's minds who get this. This is still like a paper. Here's one, God bless you. America's 250th birthday, not a happy one. Saying they're not celebrating. Another, Washington must reform health care. Another, the United States is moving toward peril. I'll read a little bit. In the largest scheme of things, no matter your political persuasion or your faith or lack thereof or your financial situation, we can all agree America is in trouble. As a believer in Jesus, my prayer for this country is that we learn to live together in peace, get beyond individual agendas, celebrate our blessings, and reach out in friendship, one person at a time. And there's more. One page of the Butler Eagle. The immigration crackdown is frightening. Here's another: Republicans must reject authoritarianism. Well, this guy ends with, it's my hope that Representative Mike Kelly, full on MAGA, who represents this butler, sees this letter and realizes his Republican constituents do not support this kind of authoritarian government. I am not against removing illegal immigrants, but there are far better methods. So that's that one, clearly a Republican. Unbelievable. And that's why Trump and his sons of bitches are working tirelessly to rig the November election, because they know it is going to be a landslide unlike anything we've seen. Every special election that's been held since these sons of bitches took over, Republicans have lost or squeaked by in places that Trump took by 40 points. They're working at rigging it. And a lot of what's going on now, we've got to keep our eye on the ball. The grabbing of those ballots in Atlanta and Fulton County, this flat out presidential pronouncements of, I regret not having grabbed the voting machines, confiscated them. I don't see why we need another election. I don't think we should have another election. The elections are, and did you know this? This blew me away, and I want to Puerto Rico, back to Bad Bunny. Did you know? And Reuters reported this. Let me find it. That bastards working for Tulsi Gabbard, who of course showed up at the Fulton County grab, have also seized voting machines and data in Puerto Rico, in what sources told Reuters reporters was an attempt to prove that Venezuela had hacked the voting machines in Puerto Rico. And Gabbard is looking at whether the Nicolas Maduro's government, the guy in custody in New York now that we grabbed, whether Maduro hacked the election. Now, this makes the grabbing of Maduro look like more than about oil. Because there's absolutely zero, as usual, evidence that this happened. But they're ginning it up. They create a story and they repeat and repeat and repeat. Political analysts have speculated that what's really going on here is that Trump intends to use this to force Maduro to confess, get out of jail. if you confess that you rigged the election. There's nothing they won't try. There's a million other things going on also in Congress with trying to bills that would suppress, depress, all kinds of stuff. And here, just this. Another analyst looking at this, that these machines were and records were taken out of Puerto Rico by Gabbard, says that while the president has no role in elections, the Supreme Court has said he must be given deference in the conduct of foreign affairs. So, wondering why Gabbard, who is not supposed to be dealing with domestic stuff, she's supposed to be looking at foreign threats, is involved in Fulton County and all of this. They're working on. Let's tie Maduro, because we got him. And if he wants a get out of jail free card, we can tell him what that'll be. Oh, God, guys. So, just telling you. Never thought of that. They don't miss a trick. So, I wanted to tell you that. And I guess we're out of time. Damn. What a. But the sun's out. And Seattle won that game. And Bad Bunny, I always want to say Bugs Bunny. I am sorry when it comes to Bunny. That's way. And whatever. Anyway, guys, I'm sorry. I'm going to go do a jigsaw puzzle because it is, whether I tell myself this or not, relatively mindless activity. And man, my head needs respite. I bet yours does too.